Pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of leaders and county assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings send upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just, faithful a manner as promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county, and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Amen. I want to refer to starting on number 32 and direct that the quorum bell be rung for the first 5 minutes. I am informed that we have quorum, so the senior time can stop ringing the bell and we proceed. Clerk, take us through the order of the day.
Thank you, Speaker and Honorable. Supplementary order paper number 230B of today, Wednesday, 11th September 2024 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order 5, papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Number 7,
Statement time. Next order.
commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion. Adoption of the report of appointments committee on the suitability of Mr. Nation Otieno Aloka Ogola for appointment to the position of county attorney by Honorable Leader of Majority. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
For Leader of Majority. Honorable Leader of Majority, approach the chair. Yes, the Honorable Leader of Majority.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Appointment Committee, I would like to give Honorable Chief Whip to move the motion. Thank you.
Honorable Chief Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move a motion on the report of suitability of Mr. National Wakagola for the appointment of to the position of the county attorney. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Section 5 of the County Attorneys Act 2020, read together with Section 6 of the Public Appointment County Assembly Approval Act 2017. His Excellency the Governor submitted to the County Assembly the nomination of Mr. National Wakawola, nominee for the position of the County Attorney for vetting and approval by the County Assembly. The nomination of Mr. National Walker was conveyed to the Speaker of the County Assembly through a letter reference CGK CS ADM 20 volume 5203 dated 15th August 2024. The nominees' curricula vitae and testimonials were enclosed in a letter C annexed 1 in Romans. Consequently, Mr. Speaker, on 28th August 2024, pursuant to Section 6 of the Public Appointments Act, County Assembly's Approvals Act, the Leader of Majority, Honorable Ken Oko, tabled the name of the nominee on the table of this Honorable House for approval, and procedurally committed to the Committee of Appointment by Honorable Speaker in accordance with Section 6, Part 7 of the County Appointments, County Assembly Approval Act 2017, Standing Order Number 187 for vetting and reporting to the House within 21 days. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Section 7, Part 4 of the County Appointments, County Assembly Approval Act 2017, the Clerk of the County Assembly placed an advertisement in the print media on 29th August 2024, notifying the nominee of time and place of approval hearing, and invited the public to submit memoranda by way of written statement on oath, affidavit on the suitability or otherwise of the nominee in accordance with Public Appointment County Approvals Act 2017, Annex 2 in Romans. The advertisement indicated that the submissions were to be received on or before 4th September, at 4 p.m. by close of the submission deadline. The committee had not received any memoranda in regards to the suitability of the nominee for appointment. Mr. Speaker, further to the fulfillment of the provision of Section 787 of the County Government Act 2012, read together with Section 7, Part 5 of the Public Appointments County Assembly Approval Act 2017, and Standing Order Number 187, the Clerk of the County Assembly also notified the public through the print media that the committee would conduct the approval hearing on Thursday, 5th September 2024 at 9 a.m. at the County Assembly Chambers, Annex Part 2 in Romans. Mr. Speaker, the nominee appeared before the committee as scheduled on Thursday, 5th September 2024 at 9 a.m. for an approval hearing on his suitability and otherwise for appointment to the position of the county attorney as per requirements of the Constitution, the Public Appointment County Assembly Approval Act 2017, the Office of the County Attorneys Act 2020, and the County Assembly Standing Orders. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, pursuant to Section 8 of the Public Appointments Approval Act 2017, read together with Section 5 of the Office of the Attorneys Act 2020, the committee observed, 1, that in accordance with Article 78 and Part 1 and 2 of the Constitution, the nominee is a Kenyan citizen born in Kisumu and does not hold dual citizenship. That in accordance with the requirements set out in Section 5 of the Office of the County Attorneys Act 2024, the nominee possesses a law degree from the University of Nairobi, a recognized university, and is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, possessing over 5 years experience as a legal practitioner His academic, residential, professional training and experience does comply with Section 5, Part 1A of the Office of the County Attorneys Act 2020 and Sections 8, Part C of the Public Appointments County Assembly Approval Act 2020. And that he meets the requirement of Chapter 6 of the Constitution on leadership and integrity. The committee further observed that DCI, KRA, HELB, and EACC had issued the nominee with clearance certificates. And Part 4, that the nominee had not been charged in law, in court of law, in the last 5 years. Part 5, that as stipulated in Article 75, Part 1 of the Constitution, the nominee has no potential conflict of interest. That the nominee satisfies the requirement of Article 77, Part 1 of the Constitution, and that he does not intend to participate in any gainful employment. And that the nominee does not hold office in any political party, hence satisfies the provisions of Article 77, Part 2 of the Constitution. That the nominee has never been dismissed from office under Article 75 of the Constitution for contravention of provisions of Article 75, Part 1, conflict of interest, Article 76, financial probity, Article 77, restrictions on activities of state officers, and Article 78, Part 2, dual citizenship of the Constitution, and therefore fit to hold office as the county attorney. And that the nominee has exhibited immense knowledge of law and understanding of the environment in which he is expected to serve as the county. Mr. Speaker, the committee therefore recommends that this House approve Mr. National Walker for the appointment as the county attorney. Mr. Speaker, may I take this opportunity, therefore, to thank all members of the committee for their input and valuable contribution and time during the approval hearings and deliberation during the report writing. Mr. Speaker, the committee also takes this opportunity to thank the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Council for the technical support accorded to it during the exercise. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of the Committee on Appointments and pursuant to Section 5 of the Office of the County Attorneys Act 2020, Section 9, Part 2 of the Public Appointments County Approval Act 2017, read together with Standing Order Number 187 of the County Assembly Standing Orders, it is now my duty and privilege to present to this House the report of the committee on the suitability of National Walker Ogola, nominee for appointment to the position of the county attorney, for consideration. And Mr. Speaker, I call upon the Honorable Karen Ayuang, member for Kalonisha Rimoyo and a member of the committee, Mr. Speaker, to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, now that the motion adoption of the report of the appointment committee on the stability of Mr. Nashon Otieno Alwoka, who go allow for appointment to the position of county attorney, has been moved, seconded. I want to propose a question, and I propose that the report is open for debate. Honorable James Were.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to support the report on suitability of National Ogola as the county attorney. Mr. Speaker, if you look at what is contained in the report about qualification, yes, National Gola has the educational background and professional qualification that is required to be a county attorney. Mr. Speaker, also if you look at experience, yes, Mr. National Gola has enough experience that is required to carry out his mandate as a county attorney. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the past and track record as contained in the report, yes, Mr. National Gola has what it takes to be the county attorney of Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the understanding of the local issues about Kisumu County, yes, Mr. National Gola has the experience on county matters. And Mr. Speaker, I therefore beg to support the report. Thank you.
Honorable Obasa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to attest to the fact that I was here when Mr. Walker was being vetted. And I want to confirm that from my understanding, I feel he has the requisite documents and is capable to move this county forward on legal issues. Mr. Speaker, we know that our county has had a problem on legal issues. There are instances where we've seen exorbitant interest being accrued, losing of cases which should not be lost. And I think Alwoka will be the person to move this county forward. So I support. Thank you.
Honorable Ken Ugo.
Recommend that the work done by the committee is according to the law, and I support. Mr. Speaker, when we are doing vetting in the House, we look for the necessary papers. We look for the requirement, Chapter 6. We see the academic documents. That is right. But, Mr. Speaker, the moment we give these people work to work as legal officers or the county attorney, they fail us in very many ways. We have had a lot of hefty fines against the county government of Kisumu on what is expected of them. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, it is just a matter. You cannot know really, because a human being is not like a maize cob, where you can see it's ripe or not ripe. But we see the papers. We are very much convinced that this person can deliver. But we should not just allow them go start performing without following up, because one of our role is oversight. We should be oversighting, we should see actually.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to support the motion because I feel the county needs a substantive attorney. This county has suffered in the hands of lawyers. More than half of our pending bills have emanated from lawyers who have charged our county. I think it is important we have a substantive attorney to handle our legal cases, and Kisumu County can move forward. I stand to support.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is the report that doesn't need a lot of literature. Mr. Speaker, it is evident, and it's not the first attorney of Kisumu County. We've had Mr. Obondi as the attorney. We had Mr. Idrisi as the attorney. And all these attorneys had qualifications. just as good as the qualifications of Mr. Alwoka. Having qualifications and doing the work are two different things. And this is now where I would like the House to be very vigilant about. The two attorneys that I mentioned earlier, no single case they won on behalf of the county government. This should sound a warning bell to the nominee if approved by the House. And we are not going to sit pretty, waiting for him to lose cases. The first case, the second case, and the third case, if lost, member of this county assembly should stand up and not wait until things go hayway. I support, but Mr. Speaker, we are on the look. Thank you so much.
Millicent Omuya.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm also standing to support the approval of the appointment of Commissioner Walker to be the county attorney. Just the way other members have said, we've had Obondi who resigned, and he was followed by Idris that was taken away because of I don't know. Then now we have Alwoka. First, I want to say that I'm seeing a lawyer in Alwoka. And one good thing, Alwoka's been an employee of the county. I can say that he has an historical background and he knows what is happening in this county. I have this request and I'll just wish that he's thinking the way I'm thinking. When you come to the county, we have a department of county attorney. It is a department with staffs and budget. I believe that he's going to utilize his position as a county attorney and make sure that the staffs who are working under that office do the work that they were employed to do. Why am I saying that? I'm saying this because, like the previous attorneys, we employed them, they were employed by the county, earning salaries, yet when it comes to legal cases that people are going to the court or counties being taken to court, they are also hiring lawyers. Just what Honorable Boitona said, I think we just need to give them some time or give the incoming attorney test so that he fails in his first case, he fails in the second case, the third case we come and fire. So that we, instead of, and in fact we can even disband that department of attorney so that we hire lawyers to go and represent us. Otherwise, I'm supporting the appointment. Thank you.
Wabili.
Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, I also want to rise to support the nominee for that position. I was there when the interview was being done, and if you listen to him and everything that he was saying, Mr. Speaker, he is a very qualified lawyer, and I believe he's not going to do business with that position, because if you look at the trend of what has been happening, the previous lawyers that we had, it is somehow obvious that the cases were maybe lost for some reason. And I want to believe that this time we are going to have some change, because we have bills to be paid, the legal fees that have been accumulated here. And I believe if that is going to have the same trend that was there, we'll fail as a county. And I want to believe that it's going to give us a different direction, a direction where we'll be winning cases as Kisumu County. I rise to support. Thank you.
Honorable Nditi.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support this, the report. I also join in support of the sentiments expressed by my colleagues in support of the report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is being said, and it's all over the town, that most county loses cases because sometimes the attorney do business with the lawyers, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, reading the content, looking at the content of the report, give you the indication of the person of Otieno Alwoka. Is a person I have known far way beyond coming to the county government of Kisumu. He's a man of high integrity, and is a man who is very difficult to bend. I know him as a very straightforward person, and I'm very sure that having been being approved to take over this office is going to bring a lot of value in the office of the attorney of the county government of Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, as my colleagues have said, I think this is a report that should have been passed overwhelmingly so that the county also have a substantive attorney, Mr. Speaker, so that the county can move forward. Otherwise, I stand to support.
Honorable James Omon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also want to stand and support the motion as moved by the Chief Whip about the county attorney. The law we are passing today, whose credentials we have read, and Mr. Speaker, I followed the interview online. And I must say that I was very much impressed at how he carried out himself beyond reproach. And it is high time we get people with integrity like him to head our departments. This is a department which has really suffered and has made us lose a lot of millions in terms of collusion with the lawyers, and we failed to get any court case awarded to us, but we have lost so much. It is high time we can get someone of this cadre to be the county attorney substantively and make sure that he undertakes his mandate as a county attorney. So I'm really impressed, and I think he will do his best to make sure that that department runs so well. It is for a long time we have really not got it right in terms of that department. I support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Benny Pete.
Mr. Speaker, I support the approval of Mr. Alwoka to become the attorney of Kisumu County Government. And Mr. Speaker, I first interacted with him in 2019 when we were vetting him to become a commissioner in the Public Service Board. He is a good character. He is a good professional in law, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, the members have heaped praise on Mr. Alwoka, but I want to raise these reservations. As county attorney of Kisumu County, we expect much from him. Just the way we expected much from the previous attorneys. But where is the problem? When members are raising matters here that the county government has been losing cases in court, why has that been happening? Will Mr. Advocate Alwoka and his team go represent the country in court? Or when court matters come, they will urge the country to hire lawyers. And when you also look at the budget of Kisumu County and the practice, do they depend on the office of the county attorney to represent it in the court? Or when court matters come, it's normal they will go hire the lawyers. And that is a practice in Kenya in government offices. That lawyers are being hired, and when matters of court come, they go to hire lawyers outside. They're advocates, now not lawyers. They hire advocates to represent them. What kind of advocates will they hire to represent them? And what will be the cost implication? That's where the problem is. We are talking of high legal cost in Kisumu County. And when we look at the matter of pending bill, it is only being said 2 billion. The chair of JLAC at one time raised that matter. Then he went mute. There was a meeting of JLAC with the department where that one was also raised. Then things went mute. So we must take the executive to task so that we know, as Mr. Walker enters the office, the legal fee pending bill in legal department is how much. That one now, no one will tell you and no one will bother about it. Because who is supposed to pay these pending bills? The finance department. Let us find out from the Department of Finance what the legal bill had been and what they paid and the outstanding. And another matter, lawyers are very clever people. They go represent you in court, they work out their charges. As they come out, they ring fence their charges. That means if you don't pay, the interest will keep on accumulating. And that is why the legal fees has become enormous in every government. So these are matters which the legislators need to know. And that when employment is being done in the legal office, do they employ the fresh people who are going to represent them in court? Or they employ the fresh people who will gain experience over the years, and when court matters come, they go out to hire the advocates. These are matters that we need to address when we want to talk of legal charges which have become enormous in every government department. Mr. Speaker, when I look at the legal experience of Mr. Alwoka, he deserves to be in this office. He has given us his background and the experiences he has in legal field, which is very important. So, if he's given good support, I hope things will work out better in this county. His policy development experience on page 2, public service experience on page 2, and when you go to page 3, work and litigation experience, and page 4, we also see his achievements. Page 5, the published works he has done, and sample consultancies and papers. Which means this is not just a lawyer, it's not just a lawyer, it's also a publisher to prove his experience and knowledge in this field. And as I look at this report, Mr. Alwoka deserves to become our attorney. And as members have echoed, that they will want to know his achievement, the cases he has won, the matters, legal matters he has handled in his office. If we go that way, we will get the courage and go that way, we shall help this county. Mr. Speaker, I so contribute, and Mr. Alwoka deserves to be in that office the way he has served Kisumu County in the Public Service Board. I so submit.
Honorable Moses.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, may I join the queue in supporting the motion today? The motion of approving the nomination of one Mr. Nation Otieno Alwoka. Mr. Speaker, it is worth noting that Mr. Alwoka deserves the approval. I was seated when he was being vetted, Mr. Speaker, in this chamber. Mr. Speaker, apart from high academic background, is one person who I believe convinced the appointment team that he is worth what his papers indicate. Mr. Speaker, I realize that the Alwoka I normally know, and the Alwoka I had explaining facts, exuding high experience in international matters, in areas he has worked. Mr. Speaker, I think that the county has one of the best brains in Nation Alwoka. Mr. Speaker, one thing which bothers me is how he's going to face the challenges ahead of him. He's going to a department which is difficult, heavily debted, and Mr. Speaker, which is full of very incompetent staff. Mr. Speaker, when we talk of pending bills, Mr. Speaker, this is the department which has the highest pending bills, and the better percentage of these bills are created by lawyers who are geared towards.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Benny.
Mr. Speaker, the Chair Jelak had used a very strong adjective describing the staff at the county attorney. May he withdraw, because he will give a very picture of the assembly when that comes out that was the word used on the staff.
Honorable Moses.
Mr. Speaker, sometimes Honorable Ben Waiko amuses me. He stated himself that the Chair Jelak had stated the rot at that department. I'm just using his words by just twisting, unless you are forgetting that you had just mentioned the same, or unless English semantics is making it different. Mr. Speaker, I'm just sympathizing with the
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker never used that adjective.
Honorable Oiko, what is it? What is the point of order?
The point of order, Mr. Speaker, point of fact, I never used that adjective to refer to the staff at the county attorney.
Honorable Moses.
Mr. Speaker, when I use a word, you should have been patient enough to allow me qualify what I intended to mean and what I'll say about it. But he hurriedly interjected, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this county has a serious problem with that department. Mr. Speaker, it is a department which has got 6 advocates in the payroll. Mr. Speaker, none of these advocates will wish to go to court. They earn salary from the county. And Mr. Speaker, when we were making budget, some of them could come and talk of like the pending bills should be paid because the pending bills is giving them bad name. And most of these pending bills, Mr. Speaker, were inherited from the municipal council. I was just wondering, how is these pending bills making them have bad name? I don't know. Mr. Speaker, second challenge that Mr. Alwoka will face, if approved by this House, Mr. Speaker, which I know is going to be approved, Mr. Speaker, is the level of interference That is a department where everybody is interested and the level of interference is massive. And Mr. Speaker, going by the words of the former acting Attorney General, County Attorney, Mr. Umanjoga, he was scared of even staying in that office for even 1 hour because of interference. If Mr. Law can develop a thick skin where he can repulse any attempt of interference with the performance, then we will achieve. But if he can be subdued, then I think the solution will not be attained. Whether he is appointed or not appointed, will not attain any solution if he will succumb to the pressure which is all over this country and get towards that office. Mr. Speaker, finally, the county attorney, Mr. Speaker, should be the advisor of the government and the governor on matters legal practice and legal defenses in the county. Mr. Speaker, the pending bills that we have, like there's a case which the committee of Quick Park brought before this house. A consultancy firm was hired to collect money on behalf of Kisumu municipality. Those days of municipal council. Mr. Speaker, they collected 40 million. They were to take a commission of the 40 million and deposit the rest to the municipal account. Mr. Speaker, what did the consultancy firm do? They consumed all the 40, ran away from the contract. They didn't run the contract to its fullest. Mr. Speaker, when the county government came in place, the same lawyers colluded with the county government staff. Then together they went to court, and today they are being paid because they consumed money from the municipal council. Mr. Speaker, it is a pity, and the trend is even live today. It calls for someone who is, I don't know, who is stone-made to protect the money of this government. Mr. Speaker, there are several cases. Benny mentioned it. Mr. Speaker, we were dealing with cases of contractors. A contractor who is not paid his dues of 3 million goes to court, colludes with our advocates. Then today, from 2018, the 3 million is now has given birth to 62 million, Mr. Speaker. And that is the trend. So it calls for wisdom and prayer for the Department of the Attorney to get a way of protecting the county. Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Order.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, what Honorable Chele is raising is true, but there's one fact which we need to know. The invoices last for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. If they are not paid, the supplier will now go to court to demand his right. And once that is, the court will give him the powers that he be paid his invoices. If that is not done, it will be, the principal sum will be sealed, and then the interest will start increasing, the interest. That's why you are talking of 62 million. Whose mistake it was, so that the 3 million was not paid within the invoice period. It is not the mistake of the county attorney, the finance department. Thank you.
Honorable Moses.
Mr. Speaker, I'm not getting this point of orders, Mr. Speaker, and I think you are unfairly protecting Honorable Ikopete. It is like Honorable Ikopete did not debate enough, or he didn't get enough facts to debate on. I'm just helping him consider what he should have been debating on. Because what he's doing is simply debating. There's nothing out of order. So I beg Mr. Speaker, just protect me, I conclude my debate. Mr. Speaker was talking of how pending bill multiplies. And I want a way where we can be protected. I was saying, it is not bad for aggrieved supplier to go to court. But colluding in a way of fleecing the county government, it's dangerous to us, it's dangerous to the public, and it is a way of kind of indirectly looting, Mr. Speaker. So it calls for a very strong personality with the knowledge of Mr. Alwoka. Then I think he can formulate a way of protecting the county from such kind of collusion. Mr. Speaker, it is in the public domain that we are not good at paying the suppliers. That is very true, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, there are certain instances where a smart lawyer can always opt for out-of-court settlement. Why do you allow such cases like failure to pay to go to full length of hearing to an extent where now the court awards such unconvincing sums? Mr. Speaker, a smart attorney like Otina Loka will take the advice of always opting to go on out-of-court settlements so that it fast-tracks the payment of these aggrieved contractors in time and avoid and protect the country from losing a lot of money. Mr. Speaker, I have faith in him. I know he will deliver, and I only sympathize with the challenges that he'll face. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, may I call the mover to reply? Honorable Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I want to commend the Honorable House for debating the report robustly and adding their concerns as far as the suitability of the office of the county attorney is concerned. First of all, Mr. Speaker, the issues raised by the honorable members in regards to the suitability of Mr. Alwoka are addressed in his litigation experience, whereby Mr. Alwoka has got experience and especially judicial jurisprudence on matters civil, constitution, human rights, land, environment, criminal law, labor issues, and finally, issues to do with administrative law, whereby the county usually get litigations where unfair administrative actions are concerned. Mr. Speaker, the county attorney assured this House that litigations on behalf of the county will be done by his office and the employed attorneys as highlighted by Honorable Ochele. And if so, there need be, he said that he will ensure that the pre-qualified lawyers are hired and within the confines of the budgets as appropriated in terms of legal issues by this Honorable House. Mr. Speaker, several issues were raised when we were interviewing Honorable Mr. Alwoka, and they were addressed in relation to pending bills as a result of legal issues, Mr. Speaker. And he assured this Honorable House and the committee that he will be as stricter to the rules by ensuring that costings as far as legal issues are done by lawyers who represent the county are done within the confines of the budget. And Mr. Speaker, the issue of pending bills also came about as addressed by Honorable Chairman, Mr. Speaker. And he assured the Honorable House and the committee that He will manage the issues of the pending bills within the confines of the law. And Mr. Speaker, the issue of the pending bills which came as a result of the former municipal council and county council, urban, the town councils was also addressed, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, he assured us that he will check onto them and ensure that those who worked for the county genuinely will be considered. Mr. Speaker, and finally, I want to ask the honorable members to consider and approve the suitability of Mr. Otieno Alwoka for the office of the county attorney. Mr. Speaker, I so reply. Thank you.
Now that the motion adoption of the report of appointment committee on the suitability of Mr. Nation Otieno Alwoka for the appointment to the position of county attorney has been moved, seconded, and debated. I now want to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that the motion adoption of the report of appointments committee on the suitability of Mr. Nation Otieno Alwoka Ogola for appointment to the position of county attorney be adopted, say aye. As many of the contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it. And the motion adoption of the report of appointment committee on the suitability of Mr. Nation Otieno Alwoka Ogola for appointment to the position of county attorney has been adopted today, Wednesday, the 11th of September 2024 at 15:28 hours. And I direct that the Hansard report be prepared for communication to the governor for purposes of appointing Mr. Nation Otieno Alwoka Ogola as the Kisumu County Attorney. Next order.
Order number 9, first reading of the Kisumu County Finance Bill 2024 by Honorable Jackie Mokech.
Honorable Seth Kanga. Joachim has sent me a note that Honorable Seth Kanga will move that motion on his behalf. So, Honorable Seth Kanga.
Mr. Speaker and honorable members, on behalf of Honorable Joachim Okech, who is the chairman of Budget and Appropriation Committee, I take this opportunity to ask the clerk to do the first reading of the bill as per our standing order number 121.
The Kisumu County Finance Bill 2024, a bill for an act of the County Assembly of Kisumu to provide for the various taxes, fees, and charges for services and for other revenue-raising measures by the county government and for the matters incidental thereto. And the bill has been read for the first time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, I want to commit this bill to the Committee of Budget and Appropriation. And I believe every member has already received a copy of the bill. If not, then each member should be furnished with a copy of the bill. And alongside the draft report on finance that we had yesterday, the Committee of Budget to proceed as per our standing orders to seek comments through public participation from the public and report back to the House. Next order.
Mr. Speaker and honorable members, there is no any other business to be transacted.
We can be upstanding. And before we adjourn, the members of the appointment committee, we are meeting at committee room number 1 immediately after the session, so you proceed. Alongside Honorable Samuel Dede, and Honorable Ratib Boyton. There being no any other business, the House stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, the 12th of September 2024 at 2:30 p.m.